our best ball here today, and we didn't get that job done. I was disappointed with the offense as a whole. We can't dig ourselves in a hole like that. We're turning the page, though. You know, we got the number 2 seed, we got a home game next week, and we got a new season on the horizon. Our guys should be reinvigorated by that. I know I certainly am. I'm looking forward to the opportunity and the opportunity to go 1-0 this next week.
From Fox 32 Chicago Sports, this is Chicago Sports Tonight.
Hi, everyone. I'm Luke Canellis. Welcome to a Monday night edition of Chicago Sports Tonight. Coming up later on in the show, Danny Parkins from First Things First on Fox Sports 1 will check in. We'll also talk with the NFL Network's Stacey Dales, who covers the Bears and is part of our Bears preseason broadcasts here on Fox. First, Ben Johnson. He was the only Bear who met with the media today. Bears may have dropped their final game of the regular season. Ben Johnson swept by his former team, but the NFC's 2 seed is theirs with a wild card matchup coming up against the Packers Saturday night.
My experience has been this is where the details and the fundamentals come out to the forefront. It's the blocking, it's the tackling, it's the proper catching of the football, ball security, taking the ball away. It's all those little things that show up the most when the lights are the brightest.
Johnson was seething after the game, wasn't much happier today. So he was asked why he was so agitated about this loss.
The role of the head coach is not to be a cheerleader. It's to say it like it is. And so, you know, if something pops up and I feel like it needs to be said, then I say it. If I don't, then we keep it moving. We've earned a division title. We've earned the number 2 seed in the NFC. Those are things that we're certainly proud about. And at the same time, you know, the season's not over. It's just starting for us, and our guys understand that. We can play better than what we played at the end of the season, and that's really our expectation here going forward.
Defense hasn't been able to slow down anyone. Jared Goff picked apart that defensive secondary. The run D has been run over the last 3 games. So is Johnson worried about the loss to the Lions in that D?
The number one thing is that we're looking to limit the opponent with their points, and you're saying you left that game with a good offense, and they only scored 19 points, 16 up until the last 2 minutes of the game there. And so I thought our defense played well enough for us to win that ball game. And I know we want to clean up the yards, and we want to get off the field faster, and we want to create more possessions for our offense. Those are all part of it, and there's ways to get that done. But at the end of the day, you know, the number one objective is to limit their points. And so I'm gonna keep that the main thing with our defense.
Slow starts have been a big issue as well. 4 of the last 5 games, Bears trailed at the break.
I trust the process that we put in. I'm not gonna all of a sudden start changing up the calls. It's, you know, we work all week on these things. We practice them, and we feel good about them going into the game. And so, you know, I think it's just like anything that we've done all season long is if there's something that needs to be addressed, we bring it up, we make it a point of emphasis, and the guys usually do a really good job of finding a way to fix it.
Bears are headed to the playoff party for the first time in 7 years at home. First time in 5 years since 2020, the COVID season. A worst to first season they just finished up. But how far can they carry this into the postseason? We're going to find out Saturday, 7 o'clock, right here on Fox 32 when they host the Green Bay Packers. Danny Parkins, part of First Things First on Fox Sports 1, joins us. So how you feeling about playoff week, Danny? It's exciting, isn't it, for us Bears fans?
It's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, we don't even have to talk about that game against the Lions. Let's just turn the page.
I want you to finish this statement. This is the biggest Bears game on Saturday since when?
I mean, you know, listen, they've been in the playoffs, but this is bigger than the Saints game in 2020. You know, the 12-win team that lost to Philly in the double doink game, that team was carried by their defense. You didn't totally know about the quarterback. We loved Nagy at the time. I liked their chances if they would have gotten the Rams later on in the playoffs. But, you know, so certainly since the double doink game, and arguably I would say since the NFC title game at the 2010 season. So, I'm not the best historian when it comes to those sort of things, but I think just like given that it's the Packers and given that you believe so fully in the coach and the quarterback, like this feels like the first of hopefully many, many, many big games that they're a part of. So it almost feels like the beginning of the next chapter.
No matter what happened on Sunday, I know you believe for sure in the quarterback. I heard you and Mark Grody going at it last week on The Score. Grody did not want to give out that 10-year deal to Caleb Williams, and you're like, let's do it now, right now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that was a silly sports radio hypothetical. Caleb would not sign a 10-year deal right now. But I guarantee you the Bears would. If you could get him at a 10-year market rate right now. Like Caleb with Ben Johnson has just gotten much better as the year has gone on. He's cut the sack rate, in half. He's shown the clutchness, the fourth quarter, the teammates believing in him, the high degree of difficulty throws. Like I really believe that over an offseason where he's not learning a new system, and he can work on the finer points of his game and the finer points of the offense, that he's going to take off and take a huge leap in terms of efficiency in year 3. But that's for the future, man. Like right now, can you take advantage of the Packers' bad defense? Like, can you win? How we feel about this season if it's a wildly successful year but lose to the Packers? Like, there's so much time for big picture stuff. Like, Lou, I texted you this morning, like, I bought the plane tickets, man. I'm coming in. And then since we last texted, I just like couldn't even wait on like getting the hookup or anything. Like I spent too much. I got really good seats.
I love it.
For this game. Like I was just like, you know what? Screw it. Like I'm happy to pay this amount of money. Treat yourself. Like I gotta be there, and so I'm gonna be in a primo location for this game, flying in. So the Bears will be, Ben Johnson will be watching, but I'm gonna be right over their shoulder, right behind the Bears bench, keeping an eye on things.
I'm telling you what, I'm going to do our pregame show, Bears Game Day Live. There's going to be a huge gap between kickoff and the end of Bears Game Day Live. I want to be there. I am going tailgating, and then I'll come back here to the studios. I'll let you know where the best tailgate is so we can get together.
Let's get together. But I just for the record, if you guys want me to do anything, it has to be pregame because I know you'll be responsible while tailgating. I will be having cocktails.
I want you to have cocktails on me. All right, play the role of head coach. Ben Johnson played to win on Sunday. Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni, he sat his marquee players instead of giving his team the best chance to win the 2 seed. Who played it best?
I think the 2 seed matters. I think guaranteeing that you host 2 playoff game matters. I think the shot at hosting in the NFC Championship game if Sam Darnold lays an egg matters. So like I'm really glad the Bears got the 2 seed, and I was fully an advocate of them going for the 2 seed because I thought that it mattered. Now playing your starters and losing is obviously a bad look. Like that's not what you want to do. So I think Ben Johnson played it correctly. The only thing I would say is, and if I could talk to him like off the record about it, I'd be like, you said to Aaron Andrews apparently it was a simple game plan. Like, why do the simple game plan but play the starters? Like that feels like splitting the baby a little bit. Like you either play to win and go all out for the 2 seed, or you hold. If you're going to hold back on the game plan, I think you hold back your starters. So like that mixed messaging confused me a bit. I loved the camera catching him saying he should have gone for it.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was borderline on a 4th and 5, frankly. But again, like go down with your offense as opposed to your defense if you're Ben Johnson. So I thought there were moments that he could have learned from in that game. And then Sirianni, they're the champs. So they're just like, we want to go in healthy, and we're not the 1 seed. We're not going to get a bye, so we'll take the bye there. So I actually thought both teams approached it perfectly reasonably. The Bears one just kind of looks bad because they back into it with a loss.
Danny, how about this incredible stat? I don't know if you saw it in the Chicago Tribune. Brad Biggs had it in his 10 thoughts, but the 11 starting quarterbacks in the playoffs with postseason experience have a combined total of 7 road playoff victories, and the Steelers' Aaron Rodgers owns 5 of those 7 wins, meaning the 10 quarterbacks with playoff experience, not named Aaron Rodgers, are 2-21 in road playoff games.
Yeah, it's another thing to point to how wide open it is. And I know Matt Stafford only has one road playoff win, but like when I watch Matt Stafford, I don't think that Matt Stafford's intimidated by going on the road. Like I think that that's more happenstance, right? Like he could have won that game in Philly last year, the divisional round. That was the closest that Philly played their entire playoffs last year. If that was a 62-minute game, they win. Except it was a 60-minute game, so they lost. So, like, I don't look at Matt Stafford as a quarterback who can't go on the road in the playoffs and win. He just only has one of them. But, yeah, listen, but Bo Nix, no playoff wins, period. Drake May, no playoff wins, period. Justin Herbert, no playoff wins, period. Caleb Williams, no playoff wins, period. Like, so, like, home or road are indifferent. Like, the champs are down this year, feel beatable in the Eagles. They've had multiple halves this year with 0 completions. The Chiefs aren't even in it. The preseason favorite Ravens aren't in it. Preseason top 5 team, the Lions, aren't in it. Every team has flaws.
Final question. Last week you had the Bears at around 20% on that Parkins Super Bowl meter. Where are you headed?
Yeah, listen, to make it about the same. You know, I don't love the defense, but now that I'm going to be there, Lou, I just can't see them losing. Touchdown, honestly, Bears! If I'm going to be in the house and I'm going to pay for plane tickets and tickets to the game and take time away from my family and cash in those marital chips to have my wife watch the 2 boys for the weekend, like this is now it's like Jake and Elwood. Like we're on a mission from God here. Like this is now a matter of principle and destiny. And when Caleb sees where I'm sitting and how close I'm going to be, like he's not going to let me down. I've backed him too publicly for too long for him not to have a great game. So the Bears will take care of business on Saturday against the Packers. I can't believe it's Saturday, by the way. I know it's airing here on Fox 32 locally, so that's great for all of you. But my God, Saturday night? I'm shocked.
I mean, could it be any better? Come on, man. 7 o'clock, Saturday night. This entire city will be lathered up. Forget about just the tailgaters and yourself. The whole darn city.
Listen, it's great. It's great for bars. It's great for the tailgate scene. I'm just as a media guy, I'm a little surprised that we're not Sunday primetime. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. We gotta just make the statement on Saturday and then get extra rest before the divisional round of the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll go prime time for the divisional round and
that's right.
The NFC Championship and the Super Bowl. Danny, great to talk to you. Safe travels here to Chicago. I can't wait to see you. Coming up after a timeout, the NFL Network's Stacey Dales checks in. Stacey, part of the Fox team as well. She worked on the broadcasts, the preseason broadcasts, along with Adam Amin and Jim Miller and myself during the exhibition play. We'll hear from Stacey as we continue right here on a Monday night edition of Chicago Sports Tonight. Back after this. Welcome back to the beginning of playoff week. Yeah, Lou Canellis here on a Monday night edition of Chicago Sports Tonight. We are going to carry Saturday's wild card game with the Packers, and then make sure you stay with us after the game for our post-game show. We'll also carry Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, their press conferences, and bring you locker room reaction as well with Cassie Carlson. All right, let's welcome in a friend, Stacey Dales from the NFL Network. One of the best in the business, no question about it. Also part of our Bears preseason broadcasts right here on Fox 32 Chicago. And Stacey, I know you've been on the NFL Network all day long with wall-to-wall coverage on Black Monday for some coaches and the beginning of playoff week for teams like the Bears. So I really appreciate a couple of minutes with you here. And before we jump into the Bears, I really wanted to ask you, I saw your post on Instagram regarding your post-game interview on Sunday with the Lions' Aiden Hutchinson. He was real emotional about the Lions season, wasn't he?
He was. As you know, Lou, and thanks for having me. It's great to be with you. There were so many expectations for a team that had been essentially the champs of the NFC North, and it was a roller coaster because of the injury, but you always appreciate the opportunity in the heat of the moment to speak with these players. And it was a victory that they came in very intentionally for, and certainly one that didn't sit very well with the Chicago Bears. I don't know if I've seen Ben Johnson so irate after a loss than this one, but Aiden was emotional because of that injury coming back, 14 and a half sacks, and very appreciative to end the season on a good note.
You've spent a lot of time with Ben. Also, Caleb Williams. At what point, did you say, you know what, I think they might have something percolating here, and it could be really good?
Honestly, to be quite frank, I felt that back in the offseason when I discovered and realized that Ben did have a very strategic plan for Caleb Williams and this offense. And it needed to start there, right? If you go back and just to the preseason elements, and then you listen to Caleb going into week 18 and hearing him discuss and talk about the constant meeting time, the time on task with Ben Johnson, the communication, Ben's consistency, all of those steps intentionally have happened. And I think there's a level of accountability with Ben Johnson that we felt even back to the offseason. And I think the players feel it. And the difference now is what he said, go do, they're doing, and it works more often than not when you win 11 games, right? So you take the game plan, it comes to fruition on the field, and now the players believe their head coach even more and their play caller even more. And I think that intentionality is something that you and I and the media base has felt. And I think it's something that the players have felt internally in the locker room. Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up because you're exactly right. Knowing Ben the way you do, you know, he likes to push his players' buttons in his way. And you look back in history, Bears haven't won a playoff game since 2011, I'm embarrassed to say as a Bears fan. Do you think he'll bring that up with his players? Do you think today's player even care about this franchise not winning a playoff game since 2011?
I think the players always care, but I think we're in a totally different era and time than 2011. You can use so many different things as motivation, Lou, in this game. And I think there's no more motivation than the way they finished against the Detroit Lions. You have to flip the switch, and it's a new season. And Ben told us that, again, in his very heated press conference. It was a short but heated press conference because they didn't end up controlling their destiny. And they played their starters. They wanted to win that football game. They didn't. And so I think you have to turn the page very quickly to a new season, as Ben alluded to. This is a fresh start for everybody. And you have an opportunity to win 4 in a row, which he said they did twice this past season. But when it comes to motivation, I think when you're playing the Green Bay Packers, who you have played more than any other team, and we've not seen two teams face off this much. We're talking about two teams that have 210 regular season meetings together. And they hate each other. They despise each other. And even in the short interim coaching battle we're seeing with Matt LaFleur and some of the nuances and pleasantries or non-pleasantries that have been spoken in the offseason, Matt LaFleur and Ben Johnson are going to go at it on Saturday night, and they're going to hope their players follow suit.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I saw you on the NFL Network. You brought up a great point. 210 meetings just twice in the playoffs.
I was talking to my buddy Zach Zaman, and he's like, can you believe it? Like, this is rare territory, Lou, that we're talking about teams that have faced off this much, but have only 1941 and 2010 meetings in the playoffs. And the last one, I remind you, was against a certain quarterback named Aaron Rodgers, who went on to win the Super Bowl over the Pittsburgh Steelers. So when you think about history, these teams haven't been in the dance very often, which speaks to how good they are right now. And the storylines couldn't be better. You have Jordan Love coming off a concussion that was handed to him by Austin Booker back in week 16, and he hasn't played. So will he be rusty, or will the ones versus ones reps that he's been getting in practice leading into week 18, a game against Minnesota that he didn't play in purposely, though was the backup. So he has been ready to go, but he's probably got a little bit of revenge in the back of his mind facing this Chicago team at Soldier Field. I mean, who could have written the script any better?
Yeah, I'm with you. Bears have lost 2 in a row. Their defense really torn apart the last couple of weeks by Brock Purdy, and even Jordan Love, while he was out there healthy, was having his way with this Bears defense. But the Packers have dropped 4 games in a row as well without Micah Parsons. Which team has bigger issues to overcome right now?
What a great question. Hard to answer because I think every team has issues and holes right now because it's such a long, violent season. You're seeing attrition on both sides. When you're talking about the Packers, Lou, the defense without Micah Parsons, so again, the first game was the Chicago game, so it's really been the last 3 games. They've given up roughly, I think it's 392 total yards defensively, which is a lot. And so what will they be against a Chicago Bears team that, you know, we know loves to run the ball, though they didn't against Detroit. 65 rush yards for a team that averages 150. They're one of the top 3 rushing attacks all season since their bye in week 5. That'll be interesting. And again, you're talking about a defense without Micah Parsons where the sack rate obviously has gone down in Green Bay, but the blitz rate up roughly 10% because they got to find ways to manufacture pass rush. So we'll see where that blitz comes from. And then to your point, Lou, defensively for the Chicago Bears, they have given up some yards. But as Tom Brady said, they've been bend, don't break. I mean, they were pretty good by and large in the red zone against the Lions, who still put up over 400 total yards of offense, but only got 16 points in that game in the victory. They rely on takeaways. They have to take the ball away because when they do, nobody scores more points off takeaways than the Bears. But if Chicago can control the ball a little bit better on the ground, Lou, and keep it away from Jordan Love and company, that really helps their defense, and it keeps their defense fresh. And we'll certainly keep our eye on C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who was obviously banged up. I think it was the concussion, right, at the end of that game against Detroit.
Yeah, all good points. Hey, Ben Johnson, after the game, Stacey said, we've got to coach better going forward. Mm-hmm. How do you think, what do you think he means by he needs to be better? Where does he need to be better?
Well, I think he's pretty good, but I think he's his own worst critic.
Yeah.
And I think the high achievers are. I think the best athletes and the highest achievers in life are harder on themselves than anybody. So that, to me, is just a natural Ben Johnson reaction. What I found interesting, Lou, was he said they simplified the offense. And I'm curious to know why. And I'll be curious to hear his presser Monday here today, because why did they simplify their offense? What does he have in the bag? What is he cooking up for the Green Bay Packers? I'm going to be very interested to, I wish I could be fly on the wall sitting in their meetings this week and what they add on the practice field to thwart this Jeff Hafley defense. But listen, when it comes to Ben Johnson, I think everybody's been pretty impressed. 11 wins his first season, helping transform Caleb Williams to the NFL game in this offense with a really good run game. I think he's done a pretty damn good job.
He's done a great job. How do you think the Bears respond Saturday?
You have no choice. It's the playoffs. You have to leave everything on the line, and you have to put everything out there. So whatever you were holding back or keeping or Maybe which ways are you going to get more creative with your pass rush or find a new little wrinkle? But I'll tell you one thing, whoever has the fewest mistakes is going to win on Saturday night. That's the bottom line. You can't turn it over. You can't have miscommunication when you change coverages defensively, because these teams are good enough. They're going to make you pay. And I think whichever team has the fewest mistakes is going to be victorious on Saturday evening.
I just saw that Seattle's the #1 seed in the NFC. They're the favorite also to win the Super Bowl. You think they're the best team?
When you look at their defense, Lou, you can argue that, because Sam Darnold has played so efficiently in that offense, and they have so many skill players, guys like Jackson Smith and Jigba to get the ball to, a fantastic running game. But their defense is certifiably outstanding.
Yeah.
And I think both sides of the football being that good, you could make the case, but shoot, man, this thing is wide open this year. If we haven't learned that, that's one thing I've learned. It's the parity has been off the charts, balanced across the board.
Yeah, that's for sure. Let me give you a wrap up, because you've made Chicago your home, since 2006 when you came and joined the Sky?
Yeah, a little trip there to California for a few years, but I came back because this is my home. I love this place. So, yeah, I've been here for a long time.
We love having you as a Chicagoan for my entire life. You travel the country, you cover the NFL. Is there anything better than the passion of Bears fans, especially during a season like this?
I don't know. I don't think so in sports, because this is a religion here in Chicago. And what makes me super happy for Bears fans is they've waited so long to have this level of confidence in their team. And that holds so true in so many respects. You have something to root for. The Cubs were pretty good this year, man. But right now, what the Bears are doing, these tailgates are better than they've ever been. And I can tell you what, you know this, Lou, and I'll see you Saturday. That place is going to be rocking. Those cement walls may crumble a little bit, because they're going to be out to get the Packers on Saturday night.
Yeah, they may have to rebuild Soldier Field, whether they want to or think they have the money or not.
Might get a new stadium anyways down there.
Yes, exactly. Stacey, I know it's going to be a busy week for you. We will be watching. Thank you so much for the time. You're terrific. We'll see you Saturday night. We want to thank Danny Parkins and Stacey for hopping on. You can always watch our extended versions of our interviews on our YouTube channel at Fox 32 Chicago. Tomorrow, First and North. That should be a good one, talking about the Lions, Packers, and Vikings. Have a great night, everyone. Bears playoffs are finally here, and it's Packers week. See ya.